What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. So we've had the newest update, update 2.2, for about a week now, and I thought it'd be good to kind of start a discussion on how we feel about the changes in Destiny overall. Now, I was really excited coming into this update, and I can tell you honestly that I'm really happy with what we got in this update. As far as the things we did receive, I am very satisfied. I love the way light level now works. I love how there are so many different opportunities to level up your characters and get new and useful gear. It's not just limited to the high-end activities like Trials of Osiris or the Raid, and frankly, more specifically, the Raid if you're looking to level up your light level. Now, it really feels like no matter what you want to be doing in Destiny, you have a real opportunity to level up your character, to get awesome loot, and that makes the game more fun, in my opinion. If you feel like just grinding out Challenge of Elders all day, you're still making progress. It doesn't matter if you're just grinding for House of Judgment, if you're getting legendary engrams to drop, if you're dropping 3 of coins and hoping to get some exotics, or if you're just looking for a Queensbreaker bow or a Drake's Promise or a Lord of Wolves. You know, that specific activity has a lot to offer in terms of loot. Same goes for the Nightfall, same goes for the Raid, same goes for Trials of Osiris, same goes for regular Crucible. The amount of different ways you have an opportunity to actually improve your character has dramatically increased in Update 2.2. And that slow dopamine drip of getting cool gear, of opening legendary engrams and exotic engrams and seeing all the cool new stuff you're getting, that drip has gotten a lot faster in Update 2.2, and it feels good. I feel like this is the best version of Destiny that we've ever played. I really like all the updates that they've done to the sandbox as well. I know the sniper rifles are pretty controversial. I kind of think that what we got is kind of the best version of what we could expect. Sniper rifles were, frankly, let's say, overpowered in the Crucible, in my opinion. They were just a little bit too easy to use, and I think that they have made a pretty good change to them. I'd like to see, my opinion on that might change as the weeks and months go on, but right now it feels pretty good. It feels like they've lost some of their close range kill potential, but they're still very deadly at long range, which is what you expect out of a sniper rifle, let's be frank. I really like what they've done with Hawkmoon and what they've done with Suros. It feels like there's just more weapons that feel combative, that feel competitive inside of the Crucible. And that's always been my dream for the Crucible, is to have this wide array of weapons that you could be using in the Crucible. Someday, I'd like to see a meta in the Crucible where almost every team you run into is running different weapons based on their preferences and their playstyles. I think that could be the strongest selling point for Destiny as a game that has ever lived, right? I would love to see that, and I think they're getting closer to that and closer to that with each patch. Unfortunately, things like the amount of special ammo you can carry, taking a dip in PvE, that is the kind of thing that we're going to have to give up to get good Crucible balance. But as long as they can still make us feel powerful inside PvE, I'm kind of okay with that. I'm coming to terms with that. And PvE, there's just so many different things you can do during the week. It feels like if you have a checklist of all the things you want to do during a week in PvE and in the Crucible to level up your characters to the max, you've got 10, 20, 25 hours worth of playtime involved. You got to run 3 Nightfalls. You got to run at least 3 Challenge of Elders. You got to run the Raid 3 times. There's just a ton of different things to do. And if you want those strike-specific weapons and armor, then you've got to run the Vanguard Strike playlist quite a bit too. So there is just a ton of stuff just in PvE alone to keep you busy during the week. Now, the biggest problem with Update 2.2 is that there just wasn't a whole lot of new content. Sure, we got 1 new mission, we got 1 new strike. We got a revamped strike, which I actually like better than the brand new strike with the Archon Priest. I think that's a pretty fun strike. But there's not a whole lot of brand new content, and that's kind of the failing of Update 2.2. And it is just an update. They never called it a DLC, so they kind of managed expectations that way. But it would have been nice. It would have been nice to get a couple of new story missions that could have been added to the daily heroic stories. It would have been nice to get a couple more strikes that would have been added to the Nightfall missions or the Nightfall strikes for the week. You know, that kind of thing, I think, really increases player excitement. Playing through brand new content is a lot more fun than playing through stuff that you've been playing for 6 months or a year or even a year and a half in some cases. So, you know, that is the biggest failing of the update, right? And that's the system that is in place for Destiny right now. So if we do manage expectations, right? I get this question all the time. What do you think of the new April update? And it really kind of depends on how you see this April update. If you see it as an update, right? If you weren't expecting a DLC size, event out of this, then it is without a doubt the best update we've ever received in Destiny. You know, it's absolutely set the bar higher than any other update we've ever gotten. However, if what you really wanted was a DLC, and you were expecting a DLC out of it, then it's by far the worst DLC we've ever gotten, right? So the quality of the April update, of Update 2.2, is totally going to depend on what you expected coming into it, right? If you expected a DLC, you're probably not going to be too happy. If you expected an update, you're probably very, very happy. So it really comes down to that. Now, later on this year, we do expect a major expansion. We expect a Taken King-sized expansion, which is very exciting. It won't come till later this year. We expect to start hearing about it during the summer. I would expect to start hearing about it at E3 this year. And then I would expect to see it released in September. That would kind of follow along with Bungie's release cycle throughout most of their life, right? So I am hoping for a big, awesome thing at the end of the year, and there will be some dry months, right? Once your characters are pretty much all leveled up to 335, which is easier now because there's so many ways to do it, then you might start getting bored a little bit, right? I do expect that there will be a lot more customization in my character over the next 6 months than there was in the last 6 months. Over the last 6 months, I've really had one max light set of gear, and that's been my raid gear, because, it's just been hard to infuse stuff. It's been hard to get the drops to come at 320, and then once they do come, it's been very hard to infuse other stuff all the way up to 320. So really, I've only gotten, I think, 3 hard mode helmets, and only one of them has ever been 320. I only have 2 characters with 320 light going into this expansion. So I think that's going to be very different with Update 2.2. With Update 2.2, I expect to have 3 characters at 335 after a month and a half, 2 months, and then to be able to switch that gear around without having to lower my light level. Having multiple weapon loadouts and armor loadouts on each character, one for PvE, one for PvP, or even one for each subclass, that I can legitimately use in the raid or Trials of Osiris and not be giving up light level. And that, I think, is going to be the biggest strength of Update 2.2. And I hope moving forward that Bungie sees that this makes us happy, that this constant dopamine drip of good drops and high light level gear does make us happy and does increase our enjoyment of the game. Because going back to the Taken King, I love the new content we got with the Taken King. I absolutely adored it. However, the triple RNG system and the length of time it took to get high light level gear was not satisfying. It was not a fun way to play Destiny. So overall, I do enjoy Update 2.2. I'm actually having quite a bit of fun. It's increased the amount of activities that I find valuable and enjoyable throughout the week. And that, I think, is a really strong point to make about Update 2.2. Yes, we did not get a whole lot of new exotics. In fact, we got one brand new exotic, and that's on PlayStation only. Would have been a great opportunity for Bungie to release some of their new exotics that we kind of know about but aren't in the game as of yet. And yes, it would have been cool to get some more missions, some more strikes, that kind of thing. But as far as an update goes, it's a damn good update. So I am overall pretty happy with it. There are some points about it that I'm not too happy about, but for the most part, I think it's a pretty good one. So I kind of want to know what you guys are thinking. Are you overall pretty happy with update 2.2? Are you disappointed that it wasn't a DLC? I think most people in the community would have said, yeah, I'd rather have a DLC than an update. But I'm kind of wondering how you guys feel about it. So let me know down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.